Okay, welcome back. We are in the midst of part 3, the productivity portion of the online meeting survival guide. We're going to talk about how to prime meeting attendees for a successful experience. The research on priming is compelling, and we can use it to make our online meetings much better. Now, we're going to talk about social facilitation and some of the great research behind priming. And priming is essentially the process of helping people kind of get to know what to expect. So priming is a powerful tool for meeting hosts because it helps to influence the way meeting participants will associate their role in association to the entire meeting. So we can do a lot of things. We can make an exciting meeting title. We can have an exciting meeting invitation. And all of this will subtly influence participant behavior and encourage high performance and engagement. There's a process in priming that is really helpful, especially in meeting scheduling. And the research shows that priming can influence someone to be more productive and more excited, especially if you use words like impressive or tremendous. Depending on the type of presentation you are planning, consider priming your meeting attendees with a catchy title and associated image. Take a moment to consider the type of priming that might be beneficial for your meetings. The research showed that priming can influence someone to walk more slowly by reading them words like patient, polite, respectful. So in this way, not only can you prime meeting participants to be excited for an upcoming meeting by using words like tremendous and impressive, but throughout your presentation, you can prime them with colors, words, images, things of that nature. So you want to schedule engaging and useful meetings. And as a meeting host, you want to develop a reputation for scheduling engaging and useful meetings. So as a meeting participant, on the flip side, you want to participate in thoughtful engagement and provide everyone value. But you also want to defend yourself against time spent in unproductive meetings. So you got to try to understand everyone together. And the meeting agenda itself is a tool that can be used to prime attendees for a positive experience. Consider searching for exciting words or engaging words. Look for words on Google and find lists of words that you can use for priming. The more time you put into building a positive agenda, the more likely your meeting attendees will become prepared to engage. And of course, you need to send that meeting agenda to everyone so they understand, and you can brainstorm useful words by searching on Google. Now, collaboration meetings are usually the easiest to host because the outcome is essentially based on the team sharing ideas. And we want to remember that equity of voice in these collaboration meetings so we can achieve a common goal. But presentation meetings, where we're talking about equilibrium of voice, they require a little more coordination between the key subject matter experts and the meeting attendees. Now, Jonah Berger, he is the author of Invisible Influence. He's also a professor at the Wharton School of Business in Pennsylvania. He explores how social influence can affect everything from products people buy to the satisfaction they feel at their jobs. But it's funny and it's worth noting that people don't think that they're influenced by others. But 99.9% of the time, all of our decisions are shaped by others. So engaging in large audiences can help us get something called social facilitation. And it can be easier to work in small groups. Now, large audiences can be managed carefully, and there's great meeting moderation tools to do so. So you can have a more positive impact on the meeting. Yet without moderation, many online meetings can be filled with people cutting each other off, trying to determine who's supposed to speak next, and maybe even having private chat conversations that are side railing the entire conversation. So large meetings can really benefit from hearing questions voiced directly from meeting attendees, and a good moderator can control the audience ability to unmute their microphones using the raise hand feature so that we can really kind of make things go smoother. So consider having a meeting moderator who can foster positive audience engagement and deter potentially negative attention as well. Consider creating a list of questions that can lead up to a climactic turning point question. A turning point question assumes your meeting attendees are familiar with the subject matter. Use a turning point question to apply educational subject matter to real-world situations that apply in the context of your specific business. Turning point questions can also be left open-ended. Open-ended questions are a great way to exit a meeting and leave your attendees thinking. Turning point questions can be funny, and they can have a very particularly positive effect. Think about you maybe using memes as a great source for turning point media that provokes laughter. Here is an example of a fun, catchy image that has been included inside of a meeting invitation. So this is a Google Calendar. You can see that Google Meet was selected as the online meeting technology, and attached to the agenda, which is included, is a informational picture that's a little bit inspirational. So think about that. It's a really fun way to do that. And the invisible influence notes that mere exposure to other people increases liking. So the more you meet with your peers, the stronger your relationships will become. Therefore, simply showing face, which is an ancient Chinese proverb, and presenting your ideas on any subject should always be considered a relationship building exercise. Time is money to many people, but perhaps more importantly, time is an experience that we all share. An interesting aspect of social influence is the ability that meeting hosts have to encourage people to perform better as they rally behind an idea, and it often happens in groups. So think about this for a minute. It is possible to increase your own influence by simply meeting with people more frequently. The Goldilocks effect is an effect that explains why repeated exposure to people and ideas can increase our affection for them. In fact, repeated exposure to something can help people become more familiar with it, and therefore we like it more. So looking at this inverted U curve of performance and exposure, when something is new, it often includes a learning curve. It's something that's foreign, like a foreign language. We're not sure what to do with it yet. But as increased exposure, there becomes a sweet spot where we say, I'm familiar with this. I enjoy doing this. I know how to succeed in this area, and you have peak performance. But just like fast food restaurants, just by having it more and more and more doesn't mean it's going to get better and better and better. In fact, you could get exhausted from it. You could have burnout from it. You could become bored of something. And this happens a lot in online meetings, especially meetings that are consistently, happening all the time. So that's what we want to avoid. And there's something called the Goldilocks Extension, which is something that I have come up with in this book, which essentially allows you to have a performance extension by using fresh, new, creative meeting ideas that help to extend the Goldilocks effect. We can get rid of that popular death by PowerPoint, summing up how many people feel about standard business meetings, by bringing in those fresh ideas that are more likely to engage the audience. Therefore, it becomes increasingly important to keep your meeting content fresh. And the longer you continue to meet with the same audience over time, you lose the risk of, losing the interest of your meeting participants. So it's got to be passionate. It's got to be creative. Passion and creativity are tools that humans can use to extend the Goldilocks effect and the plateau in productivity. Human relationships are dynamic, and online communications give us the ability to renew these relationships and collaborate to build deeper connections that can last a lifetime. When teams are able to overcome challenges together, their relationships grow stronger in a positive way. And extending that Goldilocks plateau is when relationships turn into career partnerships, and they can turn into legacies of teamwork. So that is what we want to strive for. It is difficult, but there are aspiring leaders that are able to inspire us over an entire career. It can definitely be done, but we need to be creative. We need to lead with passion. We need to collaborate on something that we really care about in order to achieve that. All right, let's go on to our next tutorial.